The broadcast.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Maybe. No, we'll see. Okay, we're going to start the welcome to the Village Council meeting. It is Thursday, 6:30, July 6th, 2023. Would everyone please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, Diane, please let the record show that all members of council are present
Yes,
and
Mayor, I
all
will.
members of senior staff are present.
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, glad to see you guys and girls. Okay, um, we're going to start off with a proclamation, all right, for the Recreation and Parks Month. We want to recognize that because it's July and it's that time of the year. Whereas parks and recreation programs enhance the quality of life by contributing to a healthy lifestyle, community building, economic development, and environmental sustainability. And whereas the village's Parks and Recreation Department conducts over 200 recreational, cultural, social, and community events, boosts the economy and attracts new families and businesses and reduces crime. Whereas Palm Beach is home to more than 1,000 acres of parks, trails, and green spaces and preserves, along with 55 miles of paved shared use pathways and 38 miles of designated bicycle lanes that inspire residents and visitors with recreational opportunities and a scenic beauty. And whereas recreation builds family unity, strengthens neighborhood involvement, offers opportunities for social interaction, it enhances education, develops creativity, and promotes cultural diversity. And whereas our parks, our trails ensure ecological beauty, provided space to enjoy nature, help maintain clean air and water, and preserve plant and wildlife. And whereas local, state, and national parks located within the state of Florida contribute to the overall quality of life enjoyed by residents and visitors of our state, and whereas the National Recreation Park Association of Florida, Recreation and Park Association designated July as Recreation and Parks Month. So therefore, the Village of Royal Palm Beach do hereby extend greetings and best wishes to all observing July 2023 as Recreation and Parks Month, signed, sealed the 6th day of July 2023. Now, you want to come up and get the plaque? Come on. Come on down. One of the of in Royal Palm Beach, more park yardage than Lou. You do a great for your service, sir. Really? Moving right along. We're going to have our, like to leave this to comment on that appendix. It was outstanding. And I just, I commended, I told Ray and I wanted to help him, told you and your staff, as well as our police chief over here, Captain Rick, that it was just a great event. Everyone worked very hard. And the thing that I enjoyed the most was we really had a tremendous turnout. I don't know if we have the official numbers in yet, but I'm taking the over 20,000, if you know, and the over under. And we got a lot of positive feedback from our citizens. I got a lot of positive feedback, and one of the feedbacks that I got, which I think is important, was we had that many people there. We didn't have any incidents, and they felt safe. Right? They felt like we were, you know, in a positive posture in terms of being on the lookout, not in a reaction mode, but in a proactive mode. So I just want to commend all of you for the wonderful job you did. It was a wonderful 4th of July. And with that, we'll start with Jan.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? Yes, I can't agree more. 4th of July was spectacular. So I attended the League of Cities meeting this year, this month, and this is the time they provide the new directory, so I brought everyone a new directory, if that's helpful to you.
Maybe we can find out who our state reps are.
There you go. If you haven't gotten one of these, it's in the mail. Vote by mail is now, they have cleared the boards, and if you want to vote by mail, you have to re-register.
You have to do it every year now? It's no more automatic?
It's
every cycle. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Really? That's even worse.
Yeah.
Wow.
So for our residents, you can go to votepalmbeach.gov or phone 561-656-6208 or visit any of the 4 offices. I wanted to share that. And that's going to be my report for tonight.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, good evening, everyone. So yeah, fantastic event, another fantastic event. I was really surprised pleasantly at how quickly the traffic moved out of the area. I think it took between 5 and 10 minutes to get from the parking lot right next to the sporting center all the way out to Royal Palm Beach Boulevard. So, hey Lou, whatever you and Captain Rick have figured out seems to be working. So
I think a lot of people are taking more advantage of the exits that you can walk out.
They
kind of park
may
somewhere out there.
Yeah, that
Which is
clearly
okay.
would be good. However it works, it's working now. And actually, one of the biggest things that I've heard about reluctance to actually experience that great event every year is the traffic.
The traffic,
And so
yeah.
now we need to get the word out that the traffic is no longer a problem. Hopefully, it won't
We're
jinx
working on
us,
it.
right?
No, we're working on it.
We're working on it. But it really turned out well. It really was. And of course, the entertainment and everything was fantastic. So thank you again for a great job, Lou and Mike and the crew. And I know you guys worked your butts off out there because the weather was challenging to say the least. And did another great job. Really hit it out of the park. Our new public store is open, and it opened at 7 o'clock, right on schedule. It was interesting. It was about 6:45. There were about 50 people lined up
to go in.
To go in. Yeah, I was amazed when I drove up. The parking lot was about a third full, and they hadn't even opened yet. So they had some corporate reps come down and together with the new store manager, a gentleman by the name of Dave Lucas, they cut the ribbon and let everybody in, and it's really a great store. I mean, we're all, I think, going to be pleased with the proximity, for one thing, and also it's pretty much everything we hoped it would be. It's open, wide aisles, and it's just modern looking, has a great feel. It even has a cafe area, so if you want to grab yourself a sandwich, go sit down there. I mean, it's really a classy store, and the employees were, not surprisingly, excited about it, but for the most part, I think the employees there are that way anyway. And so congratulations to Publix on opening a new store. Congratulations to us on having a great in Royal Palm. Last Wednesday. Elected officials serving as the chairman of one of their legislative policy committees for the past session. And it's always an interesting piece of insight when you step up to a chair position on any of these committees. You get to see the mechanics of what actually happens, of what works and how it works. And I want to also take a moment just thank Mitty and Keith for putting together a great summary of the legislative outcomes. And while a lot of them are challenging to say the least, I think they would have been a lot worse had we not had Florida League of Cities, Ron Book and company working on our side as support for mitigating some of the impacts that they've had on home rule, which continues to be a target. But this year, it turned out really well, and I really did appreciate getting acknowledged for participating in that effort. Again, back to the League of Cities meeting, we had Mary Blakeney, who is the Palm Beach County Director of Emergency Operations, speak to us for about 15, 20 minutes. Obviously timely. We're clearly into the hurricane season again this year. And she pointed out a couple of things to us, not just to remind us that, you know, we need to have a plan. So I can't remember all of them. Have a plan, have a kit, get engaged, and stay informed. She'd be proud of me.
Okay.
She would be proud of me. All four of those things, but not just that reminder. She talked a bit about Hurricane Ian last year, and we know that it was devastating. It was a West Coast storm, and it's a bit different for that reason. But one of the things that stuck with me was she pointed out that you know, storms, as good as the National Hurricane Center is in forecasting, still they will do things in a short period of time that really warrants our constant attention whenever one's out there. Hurricane Ian was a Cat 1 storm 61 hours before it made landfall as a Cat 4 storm. And that had to come down from a Cat 5. So just in that 60-hour period of time, that storm changed in severity dramatically. So lesson for that is to kind of keep your eye on the storm and be prepared for this season coming up. So she did a great job of presenting some meaningful information. And of course, there are plenty of websites, Palm Beach County Alert for one, and a couple of others that are great sources of information to stay current with what's actually going on in that regard. So
May I add on to that? One of the other things she said that I thought was really important is if residents are looking for FEMA support, no matter how much your house is completely devastated, FEMA's cap is $38,000
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
per household. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So don't count on FEMA to save the day. Is the
Will
message.
are you eligible for that if you don't have your own insurance?
I think you are, but they also said that
Right.
the other it's FEMA can keep there and you can cook some void.
Yeah.
But-
Well, the best thing is have in your way. So. Yeah. No.
Good evening, everyone, and to echo the mayor's sentiments and everybody else's. Thank you very much for the staff, all the sponsors, everybody for all of July 4th. It started early with the golf tournament, went through the volleyball tournaments, we had fishing tournaments. I mean, so there was something for everybody all day long. I also question some of the individuals' mathematical skills. I think, what was the winning team for golf? It was like 72 under to win, so I think it gets more interesting every year. So congratulations to everybody who came out, and everyone did have a really good time.
What about guys one? He was on the winning
Yeah,
team.
yeah. So we do have food trucks and concerts tomorrow, so the party continues. We have the Vita Band playing tomorrow night over at Commons Park. And to reiterate, Vice Mayor had brought it up last month, but Shakespeare in the Park is on the 20th through the 23rd at Commons Park, starting at 8 o'clock those nights. We have a Citizens Health Expo August 1st from 9 to noon at the Cultural Center. And then also our Royal Palm Beach Community Band starts up again. So those concerts are free to everybody. They're over at the Cultural Center. And the first one is August 22nd starting at 7 p.m. And that completes my report.
Okay. I gotta make one of those concerts.
I mean, not only are they very entertaining, but I love the age differential between
Yes.
all of the members. So
It
you
covers
have people from
the spectrum.
high
Yeah,
school
it
to,
does. Yeah.
senior citizens. So they're great.
I just want to follow up with some good news as it relates to hurricanes in Florida. There was an article in the newspaper this morning. I don't know if you heard of the Babcock development over on the West Coast.
Yeah.
They sat under the eye of Ian for 5-6 hours, so it went right over them, and they literally had no damage. Those homes were built, obviously to sustain the winds a little bit better with the hurricane windows, with roofs that would protect them, and they ended up with no damage. That's the good news. The state had in the legislative session, special session they had last year, they did set up a fund up to $10,000 per home for making your house stronger, or new roof or windows. And if you just go to the Office of Financial Budget, I think, or the finance director's office website on the state of Florida, and I think it's Safe Homes, and you go to that section and you can apply. And I've known several people to do it, and they're going through the process, and it's pretty easy to go through the process. And if you qualify, that's $10,000 towards improving your home and strengthening it, as far as the windows or the roof or whatever would strengthen your home. So properly strengthened with today's codes, does a pretty good job.
Makes a difference,
And I
yeah.
think Babcock is proof of that, where they sat under that storm for 5-6 hours. I think what they come across as a 4, and they did well. They did well. So there's that.
That's it.
That's all I have.
Matt, do you have anything you want to share?
Just one. Nice to be with you all this evening. I did hear at the League of Cities meeting, for any of you who need ethics training, there's going to be an in-person ethics training on October 31st at the City of Lake Worth Beach. They didn't give the exact time, but I'll bring that back to you at a subsequent
Okay.
meeting, but I just wanted you to put it on your
Is
calendar.
that like a mandatory or
It's the one
optional?
that satisfies your hourly requirement.
Please remind. Please
I sure will.
remind us of that, because
State
we
and
probably
county.
should go there.
Yep, for
Yeah.
both state and county. When they release the time, it's still a ways out. I'll bring it back to you, but just to put on your calendar. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And don't forget to wear your costume.
Why? Because it's
October 31st, it's Halloween.
it's on Halloween. I forgot about that.
Costumes are optional.
You see what I mean about why time flying? We're talking about Halloween already.
Costumes are optional.
I'll go as the mayor. I'll dress up as the mayor. Okay. Moving right along. I think that concludes our reports this evening.
Get better.
At this time, I'll look for any petitions. I don't think there's anyone here that wants to present a petition to the council. No? Okay. Seeing none, I'm closing the floor to petitions for the evening. And Diane, do we have any advance statements from the public on items not on the agenda or on a consent agenda?
No, Mayor, no.
Great, anyone with their hands raised? Not agenda items, consent agenda items? Okay, I have received no comment cards from anyone, so I'm going to close the floor to comments from the public on non-agenda items and on consent agenda items. And with that, can you give us a consent agenda?
Yes,
Diane?
Mayor, thank you. Number 1, approval of the minutes of the council regular meeting of June 15, 2023. 2, approval and authorization to renew Projector Electronic Project Management and Plan Review System annual SaaS software as a service licensing and hosting subscription with Evolve Software Corporation for the amount of $106,645. 3, adoption of resolution number 2323, a resolution of the Village Council of the Village of Royal Palm Beach, Florida, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Florida Division of Cultural Affairs Cultural Facilities Program requesting $250,000 in grant funds for the village's Recreation Center project, PR 2201, and further authorizing an amount of $500,000 as the required matching funds, providing an effective date and for other purposes. 4, adoption resolution number 2324, a resolution of the Village Council of the Village of Royal Palm Beach, Florida, authorizing the grant of any and all easement requirements to effectuate completion of the new Village Hall complex as approved by the Village Council on July 16, 2020, through Resolution Number 2013, approving application number 2054, SPM AAR, and delegating authority to the village manager to execute any such easements.
Okay. Any questions or comments from council? If none, I'll look for a motion.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? If you have no opposed, Diane, let the record show that the consent agenda was approved 5-0. I just have one question, right? The grant we're asking for in item 3, this is not the first time we've made that request, is it? We've got, so, good, okay. So make sure. It's a good grant. All right, we're going to go to the regular agenda item. Regular agenda item 1 is a public hearing for the first reading and approval of ordinance number 1035, amending Chapter 8, Elections of the Village Code of Ordinance, to provide the Village of Royal Palm Beach shall hold its next municipal election on March 19th, 2024, in conjunction with the presidential preference primary election. Letty, you want to give us anything on this?
Yes, sir. If I could also read it by title. I'm trying to abbreviate your agenda items, but as you said, it's ordinance number 1035, an ordinance of the Village Council of the Village of Royal Palm Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 8 elections at Section 8-5 of the Code of Ordinances to schedule the 2024 municipal election to coincide with the 2024 presidential preference primary election on March 19, 2024, and to change the 2024 candidate qualifying period accordingly, providing a conflicts clause, a severability clause, and authority to codify, providing an effective date, and for other purposes. Apologies that you're seeing this again. I realized that there was an error in the version that you saw at your last meeting, so I'm correcting that. It had 2016 references, but as was discussed previously, this is Supervisor of Elections Office cannot accommodate 2 elections in March, so this is lining your election, your municipal election, up with the presidential primary. So it sets the election date and also a runoff date if necessary. But I'll answer any questions that you have on that.
Any questions?
You know, real quick, and it's not necessarily this item so much as it is because we voted last time. So the supervisor of elections is overseeing our elections, the municipal elections also. So we're not involved in that as well.
Nothing has changed. Yes, her office just can't accommodate elections, 2 elections in that same month, so close together. So all the municipal elections have to move to the same presidential
Right. But
election date.
we are not. So staff doesn't
Nope.
have to go down to the
Nope,
supervisor of
same
elections
thing.
anymore and do that.
Right.
Correct. Thanks.
Okay. Any advanced comments on agenda regular item 1? No? Any hands raised on this agenda item, right? Regular.
No, Mayor.
I have no comment cards submitted on agenda item R1, so therefore I'm closing the floor to public comment on this agenda item. And if no questions or comments, I'll look for a motion from the council.
Make a motion to approve regular agenda item number 1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, let the record show that agenda item R1 was approved. And unless there's any other business in our regular agenda, our regular council meeting tonight, we are going to adjourn from this meeting and move right into our budget hearing, unless anyone wants to take a break. Everybody's good? The workshop, yeah, our budget workshop. Let me get the tools out. Work on the budget. Okay. All right, so we are convened now into our budget workshop agenda. We've already had our Pledge of Allegiance, so we won't be doing that again. And it says here in the beginning, do we have about taking comments from the public? We have any advanced comments,
No
on the
comments,
budget
Mayor.
workshop? No? Any hands raised?
No, Mayor.
I can't believe there are not people jumping up and down, raising their hands about the budget. Okay. I have no public comment cards submitted to me this evening. So, Mehdi, can I close the floor to public comment at this
You
point?
sure can. Just-
Then I will close the floor to public comment at this time and turn it over to the village manager. Or an oxymoron. The budget's an oxymoron.
Trying to get our attention.
It's different in the sense that the finance director that did our budget for the last 2 years. And passed away this past year. So we searched for a new finance director, which we did find, and she started 4 weeks ago. So there was a lot of work to be done. We had a choice in the very beginning. Do we start with Mr. Hockman's spreadsheets, or do we start with just a new program that we had already planned for and purchased and was planning on running parallel with his spreadsheets that he's developed over the years? But we chose just to go with software. And we went with OpenGov, and everybody got an opportunity to work with it. All the department heads, their assistants, and the finance staff. It was we like it. We liked the ability to put it into that format and see it and be able to get all the justifications and everything in there. But I got to admit, we had some challenges with printing it. The company explained to us when we were going through these challenges that they're very, very good on their online presence, but they don't do a lot of PDFs of their budget and try to make it look similar to what somebody had before. And that was what the goal we were going for. So what you see is the same, and it's got some of the same formats, and it's the same part is it's the same content. The topics covered are the same, and the way we set it up is pretty much the same. I got to give Shernette and Janet a lot of kudos for the long hours and the hard work they put into it, and the commitment and the positive attitude they had towards getting it in there and getting it right with this software. I did feel a little guilty the first day that Sharon started and said, okay, this is new software. We're having a little bit of glitches with it, but it should work, and you got 3 weeks to make a presentation to council. And she got right to work and got in there, and because when you're setting up a new software like that, there's hundreds of thousands of codes that you have to set up, and it all has to be correct for everything to see see everything correct. So she had her hands full. She did it. We're not gonna say that this book is 100% without errors. There may be one or two in there. We're not going to point them out. That was the direction to staff.
Okay, over and under. How many can we find, right?
Yeah. But we will be going to the public hearing in September with everything flawless. So so that was the process we went through. The good news about this budget is we did have a good year 23. We did sell a piece of property. Our revenue streams were up more than predicted. So we did end with a carryover of a little over $4 million that's going to be carried over into year 24. So what does that do for us for year 24? It does something for us that it hasn't done for a long time. Between that $4 million transfer and the American Rescue Plan Act funding, we're not using any reserves to balance this budget, the operating budget at all. We actually are even transferring $3.5 million out of the operating into the capital to fund that, with our big project being the rec center. So we're in good shape. We're financially sound as our when we do our fiscal reports every year in February. Our auditors tell us in doing this, the year is coming out the year 23 is projected to be very positive, and 24 looks like a positive year also. So with that, I turn it over to our finance director, Sharon, who will go over the high points of the operating and over the whole budget. Excuse me? Yes, I do have to give it to you. I got it here. Got it? From beginning first. All the way over to the left. Here you go.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. I'm just going to go through the highlights of the budget. So we're proposing for the 2024 budget, the total budget, proposed budget is going to be $39,551,978. Of that budget, the general operating is about 39%. The capital projects is about 47%. Stormwater is about 2%, and then we have reserves at 12%. The budget highlights this year is property values are projected at a 10.91% increase from the prior year. The millage rate of 1.92 will remain constant, and consumption-based revenues have increased 5%. The ad valorem tax overview, as I stated before, the increase is 10.91, and that's including new construction. Prior year's value was $3.846 billion. Current year value is $4.265 billion, which is about a $419 million increase. And that is with keeping the operating rate, which we're projecting to remain the same at 1.92 mils per thousand. This slide will show you the impacts of the total proposed millage rate at 1.92 on homes valued of $186,000, $261,000, and $337,000. So if you have a property valued at $186,000, taking in consideration your homestead exemption of $50,000 and our millage rate of 1.92, the tax bill for Royal Palm for each of these would be $261,000. And then if you have a value of $261,000 property, your tax bill would be $405, and then $337,000, your tax bill would be $551. That just kind of gives you an illustration of the millage rate and how much the tax bill would be. Our general fund revenue, we're proposing it at a little over $33 million, and it's broken down into several categories. Property tax is 23% of that. Other taxes and fees is about 20% of that, and the other taxes and fees makes up your gas tax, your utility service tax, communication tax. License and permits makes up about 14%, charges and service 1%, intergovernmental is about 16%, fines is 1%, miscellaneous is 4%, transfers is 8%, and then our fund balance would be about 13%. General fund expenditures are proposed at a little over $33 million, and those are made up by several categories. The biggest category being personnel services at 39%, contractual service at 33%, and contractual services is majority made up of our police services is what's in that category. Other charges and services at 15%, operating supplies at 2%, and other operating supplies, grants and aids, and department capital outlay at less than 1%. And then we have transfers at 11%, and that's what we talked about, the $3.5 million, that's in that category. Just to give you a summary of the highlights on the expenditures, merit adjustments are projected at an average of 3.8% for all employees. We budgeted a cost of living adjustment at 5.5%. Property insurance premiums will be based on market projections, and medical insurance is currently under negotiations with a projected increase between 5 and 7%. There were some position changes that we proposed in the budget. Public Works, with the addition of one full-time electrical helper, and then one spray technician split between Public Works General Fund and the Stormwater Fund. In Parks and Recreation, we're reclassifying the Public Information Specialist to the Village Manager Division. The Public Arts Professional is being reclassed to the Planning and Zoning Division. General Maintenance Worker 2 is being reclassified as a Skilled Trades Worker. And one of the General Maintenance Workers 1 is being eliminated. Then we'll move on to the Stormwater Utility Fund. The revenue is projected at $1.3 million. And 85% of that is made up of the stormwater utility fee, and then the 15% is fund balance. Stormwater expenditure summary is proposed at $1.4 million. And that is primarily made up of personnel services at 48%, contractual services at 1%, other charges and services at 40%, and that's majority is the maintenance contracts. Operating supplies at 5%, other operating supplies at less than 1%, and then transfers at 6%. The capital improvement funds, we're budgeting that proposed at little over 49 million. And that's going to be made up of the beautification fund and recreation fund is less than 1%. The American Rescue Plan is 22%. Impact fee is 6%. Sales surtax is 43%. General capital improvement is at 7%. Stormwater utility is at 1%. And then we have 21% for reserves for future use. That concludes my budget overview, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Do we have any members on council who has a question?
I just have one question, one comment. I think moving forward, considering that we have the new developments coming in, where we have the ad valorem tax review, if we should have 4 columns now, because there is that huge gap between the property value of what this is and what the new ones coming on are going to be, because that's a huge gap. And then the other question I just had was,
As far as the example you're saying?
right,
Yeah.
I said we only have the 3 examples here, and I think now because our property values
Or
are,
increase the examples.
Yeah.
well, but I think
you
you
know,
have-
and when you look at that, when you look at the averages of taxable value is still fairly low.
Yeah.
That doesn't move much because it goes no more than 3% of cost of living, whichever is less.
right.
So,
But I think because the new one's coming on,
Yeah,
that was my
we
only
can
thing.
always
It's
make
just
it another
another
category of a
column just
higher
going forward, or like you said, just shifting it a bit.
and
And
the main thing, the main message that we like to get to the public in that slide is that when you get your tax bill, Royal Palm Beach is about 10% of that.
If that
So
much.
whatever your tax bill is, we're about 10%
If that
of that
much,
tax
yeah.
bill.
right.
That's the reality, yeah.
And then my other question, or my question then was, under the expenditure summary, we talked about eliminating 1 general maintenance worker. Is there somebody currently in that position,
No,
or we
it
haven't
will not
filled
be,
it? Okay,
will not be a filled position.
thanks.
Any other questions? Thank you so much, and welcome aboard again.
Thank you.
It is a term called baptism by fire, and I think you've experienced that to some degree here. But thank you. So, Ray,
Well-
I guess we'll turn it back over to you. Or?
And may I just make a comment?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. And I just want to publicly wish Sharon a happy birthday, since a little bird has
Oh,
told us it was her
Giving her
birthday.
up here. Okay. She
Thank
didn't want
you, I
anybody to know
appreciate
that,
that.
probably.
You know, when I interviewed her, I told her, I said, you know, you don't have to come to the council meetings. You can do them from remotely. She's been to every council meeting, and it's her birthday.
We really know how to welcome you aboard, don't we?
Yes.
You
I
feel
appreciate
love, right?
it. Yes, I do.
Okay. I guess next on the agenda is.
Well, the village council budget went up
We're going to start with,
A little-
with the individual
a little
department
less
budgets.
than $1,000. It is the same as past years. There's nothing new in there.
What page are we on?
Village council was page 29.
Okay. Bean.
And I mean, we plugged in the new numbers for healthcare and FRS, and that's the way it came out. It's like I said, it's less than $1,000 more than what we had budgeted last year.
Yeah, but part of this, I think, is because we budgeted things like travel and things that we probably didn't spend the money
That
on.
is correct.
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
correct. In the manager's budget, the way that this is a little bit different than last year, in the sense that in the manager's budget is the division of HR and the division of the clerk's office. So the first page on page 32 has them all combined, and the planning department has them all combined. And then you go to page 36, and that's 34, 35, I mean, and that's just the manager's division of that administration. And in my budget, the significant increase in my budget is moving that public information specialist in full-time position into it. So I went up about $135,000, and that was the majority of it.
Okay.
In legal, that actually looks like a little bit less. You know, this past year, a lot of the legal services were through the development end of things, and there's some reimbursement there. And specifically, the agreement we did with the developer south of State Road 80, they didn't go through. They went through a separate agreement, a separate fund, so they didn't go through here. So it ended up looking a little bit less for this year, and then we just plug the number for next year. And that was on page 46. Sorry. The police, and Captain Niox is here. The police, we have no changes, no staff changes in there. The sheriff did ask all his LESA's, law enforcement service agreements, for a 3% increase. We think that is fair, and we're recommending and we incorporate the 3% in the budget and recommending that be approved. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for the captain? He is here if you have any questions for him. No?
No
Okay.
questions.
Human Resources, page 36. Sorry to say that wasn't exciting either.
Is your mic on?
Okay. Good evening. There are no significant changes. We are working with IT to implement a new software, which you'll hear about in the CIP. Outside of that, there are some small other changes that we will be implementing. There's no staffing changes, just small increases here and there, just normal operating expenses. Any questions I can answer?
I guess one of the changes that we made in that department this past year was the payroll specialist always worked 100% out of the finance department, but they work benefits too, and they're just as responsible for being the accuracy of benefits on your paycheck as they are all the finance items of taxes and FICA and all that. So we did divide that position to 50% finance and 50% HR, and that's reflected in this budget.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Planning and zoning, page 39.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening. This is pretty much a status quo budget. There are two major changes, and one of them is to the personal services, where we added some money in order to create the land use and MXD category and zoning category for those properties based on acreage along State Road 7. And also we added an intern. You know, fetch coffee and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So. And that's it. That's all I have. I'll turn the floor back over to you, Mayor.
We do have the public art professional within that department.
Right, solely within the.
Oh,
department.
really? Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Finance department, page 42.
Good evening again. The finance budget is pretty much remains the same as the prior year. The only difference is there was a decrease in our contractual services of about 51,000. And this is due to last year we budgeted the implementation of the new budget software, and so then we kind of took that out of this budget. Everything else pretty much remained the same.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions?
How'd you like the new software?
It's a work in progress. We're working through it. I've only been working on it for about 4 weeks, so a lot to learn, but I think it's going to be good for online budgeting tools, and it's going to give us a nice new look. So I'm excited for the change. Thanks.
Are there other, do we know of any other local cities in the area that may be using this?
The city of Palm Beach Gardens uses it.
Oh,
So
really?
I've actually been in contact with their finance division about how they've been on it for a couple years.
Okay.
And so they've kind of given me some tricks and tools to that.
Good.
So
That's
we'll
good.
kind of look towards them for some,
For
added
the-
benefits. Yeah.
It's called the user group therapy.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Little therapy, little group support.
The next one is the non-departmental, page 77. That details the items there. The biggest increase there is property insurance, 60% increase. We went from 550,000 to, we have $1 million budgeted here. We're not happy about that. We are reevaluating our what we're insuring and how much we're insuring it for. As I said earlier, we can't be in a position where we're self-insured or we'll get no help from FEMA if something really bad happens.
Yeah.
We can look at, we're short for about $40 million. The policy, like I said, is they're estimating about $1 million a year. Our loss over the last 20 years has been less than $1 million, closer to $500,000 over the last 20 years. But as the insurance company says, it's not your past history. It is when we deal with health insurance for some reason, it's the past history. But when we deal with property insurance, it's that future risk.
Which is unknown. Yeah.
So,
But
and the value that you're insuring. So we're going to relook at it, like all of our what we call property in the open. The playground equipment, the everything in the parks and outside, and reevaluate that. And we're gonna get that number down.
yeah, we need to get it down as much as we can. That's just incredible. I got a League of Cities question for you. Is this a subject that the league is hearing from the cities, that the in premiums that they're increasing are just ridiculous?
Yeah, well, if they haven't heard yet, they will be hearing
Well,
as we now are seeing numbers.
We need to get to the our legislative representatives and says, you guys like to pass a lot of laws. You want to take a look at this? And what I would ask them to look at is going from, if we self-insure, having no coverage, from FEMA or whatever, to at least we would still get some if a city's willing to at least partially self-insure.
Well, we can raise our deductibles. We can. I mean, we do use them for the trip and falls. I mean, that's part of the policy, and they do a good job in dealing with that. It's really just the value of what we're insuring, which is about $40 million value.
You're
It's
trying to
that
shift
value,
that number.
and it's getting deductibles up and assuming some of that risk ourselves with that, but without assuming risk that would put us in a position where it would be more difficult for continuation of service in the event of a major catastrophe. So things like Village Hall building and
I was going to say that.
major
That's a new
buildings,
modern building that's
are
built
going to
to
stay
withstand.
on the list.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, there are two organizations there that could weigh in and help us out. One is the
We need to
legislature, and the other is
get the
Florida
word
League of
out.
Cities.
Yeah.
And so at the board meeting in August,
And it's-
I know that this is going to come up, and so it's kind of like, okay, so you all are supposed to be helping us out. That's how this whole thing got arranged, right? This is an association of cities. And here we sit and we look at it, and almost a doubling of what it's going to cost us to maintain. We understand the insurance is almost a black art kind of a thing, but the reality is that you need to help us out here. This is a serious problem.
Well,
and
and
so
it's
we'll,
not.
we'll have that conversation.
I'm not just talking about the city. I'm talking about our residents. I've gotten so many residents who have come to me and told me how their insurance bills have gone, tripled and more than doubled. It's crazy. It's really a problem.
Well, they had a special session.
Yeah, but they didn't do anything to help our citizens, in my opinion.
And
Anyway,
what we got we got 2 years down the road promise that we will see the results of what they came up with.
if they can survive that,
And
this
sitting
rate.
in the middle of a hurricane season, that's not a great thing to tell people. So
Okay.
But we have some things that we can do, and we can always rebid it. When you have that conversation, it's like they make us feel like we should be really, really happy because we got one of the lowest increases of all the other lines.
Really?
so
Some pretty good spinning.
So I'm gonna share that with the board. That was the response that we got when we said this is really, really difficult.
Monica's the one who
And they
deals
did it
with
with a
them
straight
directly.
face.
Monica's the
You
one
need to
that
be
deals with them
thankful.
directly and has the day-to-day conversations
The
with
insurance, and I just attended a Florida League of Cities insurance where they had actually a couple of carriers, which were reinsurance carriers that did a presentation. The significant issue that happened globally last year and actually the trend for the last 3 years was that the reinsurance carriers are pulling out significantly out of Florida because the United States and globally, you've had the forest fires out in California, you've had drought, you've had mudslides, you've had catastrophic claims, the hurricanes, and so the larger reinsurance carriers are now no longer insuring the carriers, right? Which shrinks the market, which then the carriers that are left have to absorb more risk. And with more risk, the coastal cities, especially on the West Coast, on the Gulf side, they're seeing rate increases of 150 to 200%. So the things that we can do, we can look at not replacing at replacement cost, doing depreciated costs. We can raise our deductible. We can drop our values that we're looking to insure at, which inherently would be self-insuring. So if you have $39 million in assets and you're only choosing to insure $20 million, you're leaving that gap of insurance for basically being self-insured. The danger with doing that, obviously, if you get struck with a major catastrophic event, you would then be scrambling for funds and procurement to get things back up and running, right? So there's a fine line, and we're looking at all those different options that we can do. But just like the homeowners, what you were talking about, are experiencing larger rate increases. Our claims experience has been on the lower side. We've actually done very well through the last 20 years through all the different storms. However, we're grouped into Palm Beach County, which is a coastal county. So as a county, the reinsurance rates Palm Beach County as a coastal, even though we're 7 miles inland, right? So there are some obstacles that cannot be removed that we can't replace. The good news is that the Florida League of Cities has a large reserve where some of the other carriers, Pidgeot and some of the other, there's only like 3 large players, Brown & Brown, Pidgeot, and the Florida League of Cities for smaller municipalities. And they have a large reserve, especially for when catastrophic events happen, and they can take on more risk, and they don't need the reinsurers. They can go to higher limits. Instead of reinsuring at $2 million or $3 million, they might be able to go to $5 million and still cover their insured group. So there's a lot of different things at play. But we're examining all of them.
So when you talk to Florida League of Cities insurance folks, is that the kind of discussion that you have, that they ought to offer you up some alternatives, some mixes, some?
Yeah, so right now I'm trying to get an actual line item review of everything that we currently have on our asset property list, and then to go through and say, do we want to insure these pavilions? Do we want to insure this playground? What level of risk do we want to incur, and how high do we want to make our deductible, which is basically self-insuring, what you're talking about? Because you don't want to go 100% self-insured. FEMA would never, you become ineligible for FEMA reimbursement if you go 100% self-insured.
I heard about the reinsurance companies dropping out and that kind of thing, and I NPR or someplace said, and the hope is that those reinsurance companies will be replaced with other companies that will start up and figure a way to actually deal with that level of risk that we're seeing here. But I said that's a hope, and hope is usually not a great strategy. So,
I think on mass scale, just like the property insurance for private sector homes and businesses, that you have insurance companies that are willing to look at newer structures like Ray was referring to, that homes are built with current building standards and different roofing and so forth, and they're looking at that as a lower risk versus homes that may be older or have, different structural type of things, integrities that can withstand storms. So you are having some insurance companies kind of creep back in, but they're being very, very picky on the selection process of who they're willing to insure. Anything else?
And we're at a transition period. This whole reinsurance market, there's a handful of companies that do that. Lloyd's of London is one of them. And when they decided that the risk of Florida was a little great, it put the insurance companies that used reinsurance in an awkward position, because they have to have a certain amount of cash on hand based on the number of policies they have. But when they took that cash on hand and was able to buy reinsurance, it released a lot of that need for the cash on hand. So they were able to use it in other areas of their operations. But then when the insurance free market pulled out, they got to replenish those funds. And that's the transition period we're in right now. And some companies just flat out can't do it, and they go out of business. Others are, fight through it and get that reserve built back up and then provide the policies. We're still a good market. Florida's a good market for insurance, and it is a moneymaker. So.
But on the positive side, our automobile insurance and our workers' comp and other lines of insurance actually came back with very, very reasonable renewals. Just, it's the property side that's the challenge.
Okay. Page 46, information systems.
Back to 46.
Marina. Page 46.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It's nice to see you guys. I just realized
see
it's
you.
been a while. It's been a while since I've been to a live meeting. But anyways, I'm going to start with, I do have some line items that it is on the interdepartmental budget, and that went down about 3%. And that's due to the reduced cost of telephone services with the implementation of our voice over IP system. So that budget, it brought 2% down, about 3% down on that budget. The regular operational budget, the IS, is basically static with the exception of hardware and software licensing and support. Obviously, we keep enhancing our services, and with that, we keep purchasing different software packages. As Ray and Sharon alluded to, we implemented OpenGov, so the costs shifted from the implementation, which was in Sharon's budget, to mine going forward. That is a hosted service. So that was one of the increases. And as we increase our social media presence, we also increase the different softwares that we're using now to create publications and reach out. And that's mainly the increases was mainly in software and hardware licensing and support.
I
You
have a
questions?
quick question, but it's more of a prediction for you as far as, because now there's always the cyber attack problem out there. I know there's one that just came out with schools and students that they're targeting now versus that. I know we always have that issue, and some of the other municipalities have not been as fortunate as we have because of what they've done. Do you anticipate the service that we have now or the software that we have now will get us through the next year or two, or do you think, or is it constantly, because that's constantly changing?
It's a work in progress.
Right,
And
okay.
that is what mainly drives the budget up in the past 5 years is because we constantly implementing new software, new monitoring software. So it's a work in progress. And yes, I do consider us very lucky. But we put a lot of money and man hours into staying safe, and through education as well. Obviously now we mandate, but even before we had the mandate, we still invest quite a bit in training and monitoring.
And
Sure.
I mean, as far as being lucky, I think we have had people out there fishing.
Oh, absolutely.
And
They're out there.
They're out there all the
Yeah.
time, and they have been there. They've just been stopped with the systems that she does have in place that hasn't caused problems.
The key,
Exactly.
But it's not because it's because she stopped them.
it's because we're being proactive in trying to.
Yeah, we have been, I think, very, very proactive. Specifically, Randy is in charge, and he does a phenomenal job. Because it's not like that we just monitor our systems. Like, during business hours, we receive alerts 24/7.
That's correct.
And we act
gotta do
upon
that
those
right.
alerts when we do get them. So yes, they're out there and they're very active and they're very real.
Got-
And we don't let our guard down.
Got a little bit of a kind of a technical question. I see we're talking about deployment of 10G. What is 10G really? What does that mean for us?
The 10 gigabit, that is for our internal network.
Okay.
Right now, the way we communicate, let's say a workstation with a server was a 1 gig. So as we move into large, CAD files and things like that, specifically for engineering, so it's going to be a quicker access to the client accessing the applications.
All right. Guess you're looking forward to the move too?
I am more than looking forward to it. I'm very excited. We're there almost on a daily basis, scanning the location.
Yeah, is there going to be an outage period from moving out from where we are to moving our technology into the new structure?
Well, we've been working on that, Mayor, for the past probably year and a half,
Okay.
setting up our new system. So we have everything staged up at the current Village Hall. So actually, we have it already online at the current Village Hall. So it would be just a matter of moving the equipment.
That's good.
Uh-huh.
I kind of expect that's what you would be doing. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be very little downtime on our end
Okay.
as far as that. It's going to be a good failover.
And the move is being planned over a weekend.
Well, of course. No. This hope is a quiet weekend.
It was a lot of work, but was well worth it and was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Thank you.
Community development.
Page 51, Rob Hill's right here.
Good evening,
Oh,
Mayor
how
and
you
Council.
doing?
Hello.
You know, Rob,
We're also looking forward to the new building, by the way, and I think we all are, our residents as well. As you'll see in our budget there, we're right there at 1.4 for both the building and the code enforcement. We're bringing to you basically a status quo kind of budget. We're comfortable that we have are satisfying our service levels, both in the building and with the code enforcement. And so we're comfortable bringing ahead a modest 5% increase. What you will see there is some very busy building years coming ahead. As you may be aware, Southern Boulevard has already broken ground with one of their major pods, and
Really?
it's going to be moving very quickly.
Okay.
So we're kind of balancing that out with utilizing private providers, and we give them a discount, and we're working with the incentives that the state had mandated a few years ago, and it seems to be working well. One of the small things that we're going to try to implement this year, and it's just sticks out of a line item for I think about $4,000 is I saw a program that was implemented up in I think it was Brevard County where they're able to implement a kind of using visual or FaceTime type of applications for some of the minor inspections, which I spoke to Ray and we brought that online, and we're going to bring that forward this year in hopes to kind of make it a little more convenient for our residents that are doing minor things. Might be a mechanical change out or a door change. So to kind of show them that we value their time, and we're looking to try to expedite that. And I think it'll also make our workload with our inspectors a little more efficient. So that's about it for the building end of it. Code enforcement. We're anticipating a very curious year this year. If you recall, back in 2008, the prices of property values went down. We saw a different problem. We saw foreclosures, and we saw the same symptoms, but created by a different event. We saw overuse of the single-family homes. We saw cars starting to be on the road, on the lawns, and adult children moving at home. Well, we all prayed and that property values would come up and that most of those rentals would move on, and they did. But then the pendulum kept moving. So now we're on the other side of that extreme, and I think this year Ray and I are going to be having some discussions about, now we're going to see that pressure that we already see it kind of building in our neighborhoods for overuse of some of those single-family homes. So I know some of you have been copied on some concerns that residents have, and we try our best to react to those. It's difficult because identifying what is a single family within a home and a regular use for what they're designed for and zoned for is often not the case, and sometimes it's abused. So that's what we're there for with code enforcement. So I think we might have some discussions to kind of evaluate after this year, and then next year make sure that we're reaching that service level that protects all of our property values for all of us and the resident as a whole. Yes, Mr. Mayor.
I tell you what's interesting, by reading some reports, the mortgage, the finance community, the community that provides financing services for people to buy homes, etc., they are forecasting over the next 10 years a continual uptick on property values. And I'm saying, how much higher can they go? And I've read their reports before over the years, and for the most part, they've been pretty much on target with what they see happening in the marketplace. So keep that in mind, that this trend that we're on, it has leveled off. But just saying over the long term, the next 8 to 10 years, it's still going to continue to be an upward trend.
We're going to definitely keep an eye on it. As you all know, it's a very difficult situation. I'm very proud of our group, of our division that takes care of it, and they also balance that out with the compassion that's required to work with our citizenry. Are there any other questions? Or? No? All right. Any questions? Thank you. Have a great night.
Thanks, Rob. Rob, you've been around a while because there's so many citizens that come and talk to me, and they always say, "How's Rob Hill doing?"
Well, I still plan on being here for a while. I'm like somebody in the dugout over there, but we'll be coming up soon.
Okay.
Page 58.
All right. Wow, in person tonight.
Yes. Feels good. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Thank you.
Nice
suit
and tie.
If I'd known you were going to dress up, I would have done likewise.
So as it relates to engineering, we've had an incredibly busy year, as Rob alluded to. We're busy.
You think?
On all fronts. In our right-of-ways, we're very busy. Private development, obviously, and then capital. And I have to thank my staff for keeping up with this wave that we've had, and they've done an incredible job. As it relates to the upcoming year, we're maintaining basically the same level of staffing. There's a modest increase, which is basically caused by inflation, and we're looking forward to the next year, and obviously getting into Village Hall, and then on to the rec center, right, and some sizable developments like the Tuttle Royale.
Yeah, how are you supposed to do this?
Do you I'm just
well, and we're looking forward to Tuttle coming in.
Do you know when they're going to turn on that new traffic light and have it go yellow or something? No? Okay.
It's close. It's close.
They're close. Believe it or not, FPL is the culprit, at least
really?
for now. Yes, and it has been. So
FPL.
they are close as it relates to paving and having an intersection ready.
Done.
So yeah, and they've gotten the striping down. So
there are a lot of people in the village with eyes on that project, and I think once they start really going vertical, they really get moving out. People will get excited about that.
I just have a compliment for you, though, and your staff is thank you very much for keeping the website up to date, because we get a lot of phone calls or contacts regarding roads repaving, sidewalks replacement, things like that. So I love that we can just direct everybody to the website and you have that schedule up there. So thank you very much.
thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Public Works, page 62.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Good to be here in person again. The budget that you have before you is basically it's an overall increase of 6.2% from our last budget year. We do have one, as previously discussed, one one added position, an electrical helper, which is part of our succession planning. The 2 electricians we currently have went through the same process.
Okay.
It's a very good program. And then we're reclassifying our spray technician to be a split with the stormwater. The major items in here to bring your attention to would be in the other charges and services. That's about a 12, almost 13% increase. Basically, is in the grounds maintenance. If you recall from last year's budget, we added some additional areas in and reduced some of the staff because at that time we couldn't hire anybody, couldn't get anybody. So we made those changes, and that's why there's such a stark difference between last year's budget and this current proposed one. The only other thing I'd say about this budget is it addresses, when you also add the capital that Chris will be talking about, it addresses all of our strategic plan items. And I'll take any questions you may have.
Just one question. Is our vehicle fleet, is that you, or is it spread out across the departments?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the question.
The
Vehicle fleet.
Paul is in charge of buying,
Okay.
buying it and managing through this budget process, the replacing vehicles and getting new vehicles. And vehicles have gone up quite a bit. We are getting 2. He already ordered 2 hybrids, I believe.
They hadn't been ordered yet.
Oh, they haven't.
It's
Okay.
Hybrids? So
the
that's
middle,
full
well,
electric.
yeah, the middle of this month. Yeah,
But they'll run. But they're the hybrids that will run on the electric until they have to run on the gas. So they can run on the electric around town. So, but we still have the gas motor there.
All right. I just want to make sure that we're thinking about, we've talked about this, creating a strategy to really start to move to the electric vehicle model. And I think we're going to see some incentives out there that cities can take advantage of to be encouraged to make that shift. So we just want to keep an eye out for that.
The manager and I have had those discussions, Mr.
I talk to
Mayor.
him about it all the time. Okay.
The hybrid one that is between gas and electric, is it if it's under 30 miles an hour, it's on the electric, and then once it hits that, then it kicks over into the gas?
And it all depends on the charge on the battery.
On the battery, okay. And then the other thing is because the county does not want to purchase a number of their vehicles for electric because the battery weight is more than the gallon of gas and the damage that it does to the roads. But I think our vehicles are not that, yeah. It's the hybrid, the battery itself for battery for the electric vehicles, the trucks, the garbage trucks, the things like that, they're way more than that. But none of our vehicles weigh that, so we don't have that
No,
issue.
that wouldn't be an issue for our fleet.
Thanks.
There is a study out there about that, and now that it's becoming an apparent reality that that's an issue, I've been on the sheet for a while saying that I think we're going to see a significant evolution of the battery compact component for EVs. I think it's going to become standardized, and I think they're going to address the weight issue as well as part of that. So,
The electric motor is a much more efficient motor than the internal combustion
this
engine.
is-
And
is
we
a
are
weight
moving
issue,
in that
yeah.
direction, and
Yeah.
we're such at the infancy of it. I mean, just for buses, they have one where instead of it using the battery all the time, it uses a capacitor, and every bus stop, the capacitor gets recharged, and it can take it another 17 miles, or to the next to several bus stops. So they're going to come up with all kinds of things, but the electric motor is going to be in cars. We're going to see more of it. And it's new technology. I know you'll see reports all over the place. We saw reports against windmills and solar, and we've heard from our power companies about how if we have solar out there everywhere, then they still need to have the transmission system in place and that was a big problem. In Texas, right now, in this heat wave, 37% of their power is coming from solar and wind. And had they not had that, they would not be able to meet the demand right now.
They'd be in trouble.
So there's a lot of good too.
We're Any other
No, I
questions?
don't do the
Paul?
electrical grid.
Boy, you know you're going to get dragged into this, did you?
No,
That's
that's
okay.
fine. Go ahead and go to stormwater, right?
Yes, stormwater.
Storm
Page
water.
83 for the for the expenditures, 79 for the revenue if you're interested.
You said 83?
For the operating expenditures.
Okay.
It starts on page. The revenues start on page 79, and then the operating expenditures start on 83.
The revenues, Sharon already covered. I was just going to go. I'll go through the expenditures. The one major budget level change that applies to here we already spoke about was the reclassification of a spray tech to be a split with the stormwater utility. The stormwater budget that you see before you is a status quo budget. It's overall 0.3% increase. The biggest expenses here as far as increases go are just because of the cost of materials. I think our commodities are up about 21% for that reason. Beside that, it's a status quo, and again, along with the CIP that Chris will be covering shortly, it covers all of our strategic planning items. And I'll take any questions. Oh, and I unfortunately was not able to work the word compassion into my talk tonight, so I apologize.
Any questions? No? Keep us dry.
Okay.
When it floods.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And now,
The monster of the budget.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. The Parks and Rec budget starts on page 66, which would just basically give you our organizational chart. And Sharon already went through the personnel changes that we made. Our overall budget, we're looking at a 6% increase. And again, it's basically inflation, cost of goods and services. The one thing I do want you to realize that is in the cultural center under contract services, we have a new cleaning service that we're looking to get. It's an event set up and tear down and cleaning of the facility. The issues that we've had in the past year is keeping, we usually use part-time people to work those later hours in those events. We have not been able to keep people on staff. They don't want to work until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, we're looking at bringing in a service. We've talked to a few of them already. We have got one that we were able to bring in to do the weekend work, and it's working out great. Because Friday nights, we have weddings and parties that go until 1 o'clock in the morning, and they got to be, again, it's got to be cleaned up, it's got to be set up for the next day's activities, and the same thing on Saturday night, they go until 1, 2 o'clock, cleaning up until 5, 6 o'clock, and we got to be ready for the church rental, and they're coming in at 7. So it was very hard to keep staff, and as much as we've tried to use everybody from other divisions and moving them around, it just gets too hectic. So we think this is going to be a big benefit, and you'll see that we budgeted a little over $48,000 for that. But that's really the only thing that will stand out in this budget. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Not necessarily on the budget, but how you doing with the rec center project?
It's pretty much all laid out. We got ready to go out for bid. Put the package together.
Okay, let's turn it over.
Is he taking your thunder?
I understand my plan was to stay here until the rec center was done. But no, we've pretty much made the drawings and what we need, and as far as, you know, we went through the whole needs assessment issue. But we're really, really excited about that. It's going to be a great building. It's going to be
I think it's going to be
unique.
tremendous. Yeah. That track
Yeah.
thing, what is it called?
Yeah.
The running track?
Yeah, mezzanine.
That's going to be, because I've been in a place like that up north in New York, and it's like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
Thanks,
yeah,
Lou.
it's going to be exciting.
Thank you, Lou.
Any other questions?
Any questions?
No?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for the compliments on the events. Appreciate it. I'll pass it on to staff.
Please do. Yeah, we appreciate them. And here we are. You got a separate book here.
You're the big dog. You're the big dog.
We ready?
Yes,
All
you're up.
right.
Okay.
This is the fun part. So this is the capital improvement program for fiscal years 24 through 28. The total for revenues are $49,935,240, with expenditures at $39,374,361. Thank you, Sharon, for getting us those numbers.
Those are good numbers.
Those are good numbers. The first fund is the Rec Facilities Fund. The fund is limited to the acquisition, improvement, expansion, or implementation of parks and recreation facilities. We did move the proposed Southern Boulevard Park, the Tuttle Park, over to there. As you can see, there's no current funding in there, but we expect to get funding and be able to fund this park out into the future. So when those funds come in, obviously we'll be able to construct that park. The next fund is the Community Beautification Fund. It's limited to projects that enhance the aesthetic landscape and visual perception of the village. And the entry feature is in that fund. It was moved from, I think it was in 302, and I believe we moved it over to here. The next fund is the American Rescue Plan, the 105 fund. It's limited to projects that enhance the aesthetic landscape and visual perception of the village. The first project is the,
let's
not
have what
right.
it's limited
Yeah,
to. It is limited. It does have limitations.
It does
Broadband,
limit-
drainage, and capital that we can show a rational nexus between mitigating COVID impacts and the capital improvement. And that's how we used it. That last one's, will get you, and you can use it for administrative expenses. So we portion of that goes to the administrative expenses. The rest goes to these projects here. He's going to show you.
Sorry about that. One of my notes got transferred over. The first project is this building, the Village Meeting Hall renovations. Obviously, once we move out of the existing Village Hall building and finalize the new building, we'll be able to convert this into a small party venue type space. The wall behind you will become glass. There'll be a door that will exit kind of to the center of the building. We'll put paneling in the ceiling with a chandelier. The floors will be redone.
Wow,
So
that'd be nice.
similar to what the existing or the new Village Hall building is going to have with that theme. The exterior will refinish to match the new building.
What's the capacity?
75.
Yeah, it was.
So we'll have a 75-person venue.
Right.
The sporting center is about 120, 140, I think.
Right.
And then all the different sizes up to, I guess, 400 over at the cultural center.
Okay.
And we're actually going to move. There's a janitor's closet over there that'll be moved into this room over here, and then an ice machine will be added over there into that space.
Okay.
The next is a series of the projects that had previously been in the fund. That moves us to the impact fee fund. Revenues from the fund come from all new development. Expenditures are limited to new roads, public parks, and public buildings. The first project is the rec center to Crestwood Pathway. What this does is it creates a direct connection from Crestwood Boulevard. It's only about 600 feet. It will be a nice recreational pathway. It'll have to be elevated. Obviously, there'll be some bridges. There'll be a pavilion proposed in there, and it will get people from Crestwood Boulevard directly into the rec center pathway system, and obviously to those facilities.
That's walk or vehicle? Walk. Okay.
Walk. It would be, but it'll be wide enough for bicycles.
For bicycles.
Okay.
And it's out, obviously, in towards the end of the 5-year capital, and we'll look for grants to fund this.
Get those grants.
The next project is kind of something that's in our backyard that a lot of people don't even know is really there, and it runs adjacent to State Road 7. It's the Pond Cypress Natural Area, and there's a Grassy Waters trail system that's has 16 miles of biking and hiking trails within it, and we're maybe a few thousand feet from making that connection. There's an existing area off of State Road 7 where we're thinking we could add parking and make that connection. Obviously, we'd have to work with ERM and Palm Beach County and potentially West Palm Beach to make it happen, but I think it would be a great asset to the village to make it at a pretty low cost.
This is going north, right, from Okeechobee.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. It's the existing entrance to Portasol. It's about 2,000 feet south of that entrance off of State Road 7.
Is it all out of preserve area though?
Yes, it's the Grassy Waters Trail or Preserve that the West Palm uses for their system, and then it's that Pond Cypress Natural Area that the county owns. And those orange lines that you see are dirt roads, and they're pretty well compacted dirt roads. They're maintenance roads. They're dry. They're up high, and they're shaded. It is a beautiful area. You can go to that area over off of Jog Road. If you go off of Jog Road, there's a parking area there, and you can get in. And you can ride this trail system all the way up to North Lake Boulevard.
That's nice.
Off of North Lake Boulevard over in the Solid Waste Authority, they have a whole bunch of trails throughout their property, too. And it's, for the most part, it's shaded, and it is gorgeous. And there's a lot of wildlife out there. You get out there, and you're going to, alligators are sunbathing. There's the hogs,
there's
the
deer,
birds,
there's deer,
the deer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very interesting, and it is right in our backyard, and getting an access point.
And it
would be
actually used to be in our backyard because La Mancha used to back up to it before the berm was constructed. So this would kind of make the connection again.
So clarification, it's not the Madrid.
No, it
further
would
south
not.
to
It would
Portasol. Okay.
Correct.
And then the other thing is the biggest issue with that, though, is because we don't have sidewalks on that side. So does this include sidewalks being added, or is this
this
Frogger?
There's sidewalks on the
east
East
side.
side.
It's on the east side. It's not on the west side. So if
That's
you're
correct.
in La Mancha or you're at Portasol and you're trying to get across, you don't have any sidewalks on that side at all to try
we
and
would-
get to the opening.
Obviously, we would work to make a safe
That's what
connection
okay.
across. Right now, you would have to go to the State Road 7 light, cross, and then come back.
And that was one of the other reasons for trying to get a small parking lot in there, so you could bring your bike to that point with your car if you wanted to. Riding on the west side of State Road 7 is not a safe place to ride.
No.
Well, even if there was something there, it would not be safe unless you put a really, really good guardrail. Because if you're coming south on State Road 7 where that bend is, you just look at the ground there. There are more people that miss that bend, and it's not a comfortable place to be on the west side of that road on any of those bends. And actually,
But there could be an opportunity to work with FDOT. Obviously, they did plan on putting sidewalks on the other side of the road when the roadway was expanded. So maybe they could do a portion of that work to create the sidewalk earlier, and we'll look to have those conversations. The next project is taking out the existing restroom and tennis pro office and creating a new one, and then replacing the lighting, the existing lighting to LED lighting for the tennis courts. Next project is adding pickleball courts to Home Place Park. And the remaining list is projects that were previously in the budget. And then the next fund is the local discretionary sales surtax fund. It requires purchasing items that are going to last 5 years or greater. The road resurfacing, the reason this is in here, this actually is being pushed to 2024 or 2025, sorry. And this is the list of roadways that would be part of that resurfacing.
Wow.
Part of the reason for that was we did get some funding for ADA improvements, so those projects are going to take place in those areas this year, and then we'll just do all the resurfacing at one time after those improvements are done.
So if a road is not on this list, when will it be done?
It'll be based on the current resurfacing schedule that we have.
So still same with that one then?
Yeah.
So there won't be any road resurfacing in 2024, is that what this says?
Correct.
Okay, and what you're going to be doing is
the 2022 project, it was actually slated for this year, and that all that funding is being moved out.
This is still an impressive list.
It is. It's close to a third of our roadway network, actually, because that pushes into the 2025 roadways, so it will be a big project at that point.
And hopefully gets us a really good price, being a bigger size like this.
Yeah. Okay.
And here is the renovation and expansion of the rec center.
Yeah, there it is.
So the date that we anticipate to have this bid out is early next year, is what we're thinking to finalize the bid opening. Then we're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 years to construct, realistically. And as we alluded to, we're adding about 30,000 square feet of space. There'll be office space, the new gym with a mezzanine, kind of moving the exterior playground that is currently outside the building footprint, inside the building footprint, and improving the access into the daycare wing of the project. Preschool, sorry. Next project is resurfacing the PBSO's parking lot, the fenced-in parking lot area.
Okay, this is an aerial of how things look now, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is a list of the projects that were previously in the budget. And then we move to the General Capital Improvement Fund. The first projects that David B. Farber building renovations. What this will do is it will take the existing employee exercise area and then relocate it to the former PAL area, and then the former employee exercise area will become another meeting room. We would also reconfigure the access to the kitchen, so both meeting rooms would be able to access that kitchen without going through another meeting as part of that. The next project would be to purchase the project management software. What this software will allow us to do is greatly improve communication for existing projects. Currently, general contractors use it. Vertex is using it with the current Village Hall project. This would allow us to basically drive and obviously use it for all of our projects. It's incredibly helpful as it relates to time. When shop drawings come in, that you could automatically route them to everybody. The software itself automatically routes them to everybody in the team. So you're not losing time during that review and approval process. And same thing when RFIs come in, the ability to delegate those RFIs is almost instantaneous. So it improves the performance, the documentation of the project management process, and ultimately saves time and money during the life cycle of these projects.
So will the contractors and vendors be able to interface with this?
Yes. The licensing is unlimited, so once they're assigned to a project, that's the idea, is that you get everybody on board. So when they have a question, they submit through this software. It comes to the lead person on our team, and then we could route it. And you could actually automatically assign submittals to different members of your team, which when you have professionals that are responsible for reviewing, it's really nice, because then it goes to them, and then it constantly reminds them, hey, you have so many days to get this back to us. So
good. Sounds good.
The next project is creating an overflow parking lot over in the FPL easement off of Bob White. This would be a parking area that did not rely on Royal Palm Beach Boulevard to gain access, so people could either park in this lot. Maybe we could run a shuttle to and from the lot. Obviously, people could bring a bicycle and ride their bike in if they wanted to, and avoid the mass exit on Royal Palm Beach Boulevard.
And that would stay as a grass lot, not paved.
This would stay as a grass lot, that's correct. And it would remain closed normally, except for big events.
Except for events, yeah.
The next project is the Human Resources Information System. What this software is going to do, it's going to modernize our time clock system. You'll be able to use smartphones to clock in and out. Employees will be able to pull up all of their information through the software from anywhere. It'll keep real-time stats as it relates to personal leave, things of that nature. And it also will greatly improve document processing. So when you need a form signed during open enrollment, they can automatically go through this system and be migrated to Laserfish at the end of the process very easily. So, the next project is the Portico Share at the Cultural Center and the wedding pavilion. This was actually pushed out a year. It was originally scheduled for 24, and it got moved to 2025.
I know.
I was waiting.
That's a nice picture.
We since have looked closer at the budget and we can move it back if council would like it moved back. I mean, we had it floating on that 5-year schedule. It was moving back. It would not be a bad idea to move it back. When we first started and looking at the available funding in the different accounts and where we were moving things from and to, anyway, it can be moved back if council wants to
If
move
it's
it back.
something, if it's something we can do and it doesn't cause any pain, we should think about doing that. I would think.
Yeah, sooner rather than
Yeah.
later.
Well, and we
especially
also think it may help us with the designer. The designer, because if you notice the picture, show the picture again, Chris. It looks very similar to the one we put out there at the rec center.
At the rec center, yeah.
So that same, we would hire that same architect, and he is looking to retire.
Oh.
Timing's
soon.
good.
So
timing is important then. Yes.
Maybe to our advantage to move it up a year.
Okay.
And given the amount of usage that center is getting.
It really, yeah. I think it's only going to continue to increase because it's a real nice facility. Too.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
This would
So the
benefit
consensus
this
is
will
to
certainly
move
benefit
it.
our seniors.
Moving it up.
Yeah.
Okay. That
Yeah.
Everybody's good with that?
Consensus, yeah.
next project is re-roofing the Catskills restroom and concession building. Just the roof.
So we are doing the roof deal? What do we have in mind? Something that can withstand a hurricane or?
Metal roof, we'll put a metal roof on it.
Yeah?
Yeah, that matches the silver.
Now,
roof.
do we build that into their long-term lease or something, or?
No, that's we own that building.
We're gonna
That's
do it?
ours. So.
Okay. All right.
This project is adding fencing to the new playground that's at Veterans Park.
Oh, really? Is this what you have in mind, this high, this kind of fence?
That's
It's just
what,
around the
that's
park,
what Lou
right?
came
It's
up
just the
with.
park, it's not the,
It would just be the playground
I've
to
had
help contain
citizens
the kids.
tell me that they love the park, the kids love it, but they get a little concerned because they could easily run out, off of the park and into the street or something, so.
Yes, I know that.
That would be good.
I have a 5-year-old,
You got that
so
personal
I'm very aware. Trying to watch them, and then they go around the edge. And
Yeah.
It looks similar to the Camellia Park one,
idea.
which I think is a great improvement around their play structure area down there.
Yep.
So
Yeah, Lou is adding them to all of the playground areas.
I think that's
Every park.
proactive, positive move, definitely, before something happens.
Will they have multiple entry and exit points, or more than just the one? Because that's the problem that we run into, I think, at
Robner.
you're just doing the one. Because if you're trying, if
It'll
you're on
be at least 2, maybe more.
well, one, according to
Just
Lou.
one?
Currently, we do one, so you could just keep an eye on that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think with the same
Egress
lock like
point.
that, because the problem is when you're on one side and you're trying to get, if you're at Todd Robner, exactly, and you want to get to the basketball, you have to walk all the way around instead of making it in and out. So especially with all the facilities that we have on the south side of that, maybe doing 2 because of that. You still have to go through the fence and open it up and everything. There's still that, so it's not like a 5-year-old is going to do it. She'll scale the fence before she unlocks it.
That's true. This next project would be creating some type of weatherproof roofing for the cafe, Seeds Cafe. And then this next project is for the commons. As you can see from the pictures, that the surfacing is in need of replacement, so this will be to replace for both playground areas at Commons. This will be the addition of a shade structure at Bobby Joe Lauder Park. Additional lighting upgrades at Bob Marcello. We're getting close to having all LEDs at that facility. I think the T-ball fields will be the last fields that we'll need to upgrade out there.
So we're gonna upgrade all the lighting there? Okay.
This next project is the all children's playground, and what this would be to probably hire a consultant to evaluate the existing playgrounds at Commons, and then add to those playgrounds, so it truly becomes an all children's playground. And
Good.
This is a playscape replacement at Moonlight Park in Counterpoint. And this is going to artificial turf on fields 1 and 2 out at Cats Soccer Complex.
So we finally making that move, huh?
Well, no, the Parks and Rec director has been putting it in the past few years.
I
and
know, it's been-
it's in year 2028.
It is at the end of and hopefully before he retires, he can get us grant funding.
Okay, moving right along.
Interesting strategy. This is playscape replacement at Pippin Park. And this is renovating the restrooms at the sheriff's office next door. This is the remainder of the 303 improvements that were previously in the budget.
Boy, we've got a lot of stuff going on. That's good, though.
Where the project management software will pay off, right? Keep track of all that stuff.
Radio satellite communications, is that internal or is that general public improvement?
What number was that?
It's IS24RX.
Might need to call Marina. No, the IS24. Marina?
It's one of her projects?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's IS, yeah. I guess that's IS.
It's the radio satellite communications. It's in the current budget.
Right, yes, and that is the usual project that I have every year, and that is for the maintenance of our two-way radio communications.
Okay, so it's for internal use for us.
Right, exactly, yeah.
That's-
And
okay.
we have added, and the word satellite may be new.
Okay. No, okay. I didn't know who we were doing it for.
Sounds like something else.
Okay, good.
Now we're at the Stormwater Capital Improvement Fund 408, which is limited to stormwater improvements. And there are 2 existing projects in there. And that concludes my
That's it.
presentation.
So you want to you got nothing to do. What are you doing? No. As usual, we have a lot of good projects going on, and this is what keeps us moving forward and being proactive and continuing to make this what's our saying? A place we call home.
Place we call home.
Place we call home. So good. Questions? Any comments? Questions?
One other thing that I wanted to mention is we do have $4 million worth of non-ARPA grants. Obviously,
Okay.
with ARPA,
Listen.
that's the monster, and then there's
Yeah.
another 2.5 million that are in the works. So
It's
there
well
is a
worth-
lot of grant money.
It's
that is
well
coming
worth
into
the
these
extra time
projects.
it takes to get grants because it pays off in the end, and it's just helps. It's a benefit to everyone that lives in the village. So continue to get those grants. Absolutely. So
Thank you.
any other? Okay.
That's it.
Are we done?
Does
Any
council
close-
has any direction for us? Our plan is to come back July 13th with a resolution accepting or adopting sending the 1.92 millage rate to the tax collector.
Okay.
That's what we have to do after.
So is that the declaration date? Once we do that, we can't go.
You can't raise it.
You can't raise it. Okay. Sounds good. I think the only real thing is we talked about was the cultural
carport.
center. Yeah.
Because
But other than that, I think I think as usual, all of you have done a tremendous job putting our budget together, and
Yep.
I think that we're still on the right track, and we're keeping the train running in the right direction.
Great job with her.
If there are no other questions or comments, I guess at this time, then we can stand adjourned. We are adjourned. Thank you.